A student arrested for attempted murder on campus. We have new details on this breaking news story.
So I'm here in downtown Newport where over 50 people have had to be rescued from their homes today. And here's why. The whole road of downtown Newport completely underwater. You see small businesses, homes over here. People are wondering, is my business, is my home going to be a total loss?
I mean, in higher ed, once you've been somewhere past about 4.5 years as president, that's usually when people get fired or I don't know, whatever goes on.
We were at Chancellor Plowman's flagship address. We'll bring you up to speed on what you need to know. We are following several breaking news stories for you today, including our reporters on the scene of a devastating flooding in East Tennessee and how you can help. Thanks for joining us for Vol News. I'm Kylie Jackson.
And I'm Clarissa Dela Cruz. We start first with what police are considering an attempted murder here on campus. UT freshman Michael Francis was arrested in the early morning hours on Friday inside Laurel Hall in charges on attempted murder. According to UTPD, Francis tried to stab a male student and cut a female student on the finger.
Police say the victim was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Francis is charged with attempted murder and criminal trespassing, appearing in front of the court on Tuesday.
We reached out to UTPD for an interview with no response yet, but we've been following this story since the beginning and we will continue to bring you updates as they happen. Hurricane Helene made landfall this past Thursday as a Category 4 hurricane, bringing with it widespread damage to the southeast. Mountain towns in North Carolina and East Tennessee bared the brunt in what North Carolina mayor called a 1 in 5,000 year flooding event.
Our Gracyn, Thatcher, and Alexie Cowan have been on the ground in some of East Tennessee's hardest hit counties. Gracyn Thatcher joins us now. Gracyn?
Yes, Kylie, I was in Newport, Tennessee, where a church was handing out necessities. The Lincoln Avenue Baptist Church was working around the clock to provide basic needs and necessities to their community. You're seeing them on your screen now. Items like baby formula, diapers, dog food, and cleaning supplies were among the long list of items available. However, the biggest challenge this community has been facing is a lack of water, clean water especially. The church had brought in a mobile shower truck where Cott County residents were able to shower for the first time in days as well. Many families in Cott County and surrounding counties are in desperate need for help.
Thank you, Gracyn. We've seen multiple organizations working with their communities to gather supplies for families.
While we continue to cover the devastation of Hurricane Helene, people in Knoxville are helping in Newport and Unico County as they clean up the storm's damages.
The Knoxville YMCA is collecting supplies for family in Unico County affected by Hurricane Helene. Cases of water, blankets, portable chargers, and other essentials were brought to the Unico County YMCA. Knoxville management at the YMCA says the entire community came out to donate to the Unico community.
We had a big 16-foot U-Haul and it was full, like a third of the way full with just water.
The YMCA is continuing to take donations as the organization plans to bring another round of supplies to Unico County. The YMCA is asking for water, flashlights, batteries, portable chargers, and any other essential items.
The YMCA is not the only organization lending a hand, and Alpha Omicron Pi is one of the sororities gathering donations to take the Newport area. As the sorority made their way into the area, they saw the devastation Helene caused. If you want to donate, you can drop off your supplies at the AOPI house in the sorority village.
Now we take it to weather specialist Emma Collard.
Thanks, Kylie. 1 week ago today, the remnants of Hurricane Helene caused catastrophic flooding across Appalachia. Some locations in North Carolina received over 15 inches of rain, and a total of 40 trillion gallons of water fell across the southeast. This is incredibly rare, with events of this magnitude occurring only once every 5,000 years. So what led up to this? At the beginning of last week, a low-pressure system moved through Tennessee and into the Carolinas, bringing 2 to 4 inches of rain to the area over the span of 3 days. This was an entirely separate event from Hurricane Helene, but it played a huge role in setting the stage for what was to come. Now, while it was raining up here, Hurricane Helene was churning down in the Gulf of Mexico. Although she spent most of her lifetime as a tropical storm, record warm ocean temperatures in the Gulf allowed Helene to rapidly intensify on her approach to the coast, where she made landfall as a Category 4 hurricane. Over 15 feet of storm surge and 140-mile-per-hour winds slammed the Big Bend of Florida, leaving significant damage behind. Helene's wind speed slowly weakened as she moved further inland, but the rain would prove to be the greater threat for those in her path. Because of the low pressure system we experienced earlier in the week, the ground up here and across Appalachia was already fully saturated with water. When Helene pushed through, the rain had nowhere to go but continued to pool on the ground. The mountains of East Tennessee and North Carolina experienced the worst of the flooding. Rainwater ran down the mountainsides and collected in the valleys, causing the French Broad, Pigeon, and Nolichucky rivers to all overflow their banks. The resulting floods have caused $34 billion in damages across the southeast, and at this time, 215 people have died and over 600 are still missing. At this time, emergency management agencies in East Tennessee and North Carolina are asking people to not self-deploy to volunteer in affected areas. If you're wanting to volunteer your time to aid in disaster relief efforts, please do so through organizations like the Red Cross or the Tennessee and North Carolina VOADs. If you want to donate resources or supplies, many on-campus organizations and local nonprofits are collecting donations. If you'd like to give financially, some great places to donate are the Red Cross Disaster Relief Fund, World Central Kitchen, and the Tennessee and North Carolina Disaster Relief Funds. If you're able to donate or volunteer in any capacity, I encourage you to do so. Unlike the Georgia Bulldogs or the Florida Gators, we can all actually be our mascot. We can all be volunteers. As students at the University of Tennessee, that begins with loving and serving the people around us in their time of need. Thanks. That's all I have for your severe weather recap. Now back to Kylie and Clarissa at the desk.
Thank you, Emma. The Chancellor's flagship address took place this past Saturday.
Our Gracyn Thatcher was there to hear a big announcement and to ask the Chancellor what we're all wondering. What is the university doing about housing?
The Chancellor's flagship address took place in the Susan G. Powell Recital Hall. She discussed the growth the university has experienced in the past 5 years.
Plowman has been here since 2019 and just made an announcement to stay longer.
The Chancellor Plowman has told me and the rest of her cabinet that she has committed to lead the university for another 5 years.
She told us her inspiration for staying longer.
We want stability in leadership. So all those people and 10 times more on campus, they deserve to know, like, where are we? Is she going to be here for a while? So I decided to say, I'm in.
Housing has been a big point of contention at the university over the past couple years. I asked Chancellor Plowman what she's planning on doing to help relieve the stress for both students and parents when it comes to the financial side of things.
If you follow the cranes on campus, there are a bunch of cranes around 3 new dorms. They're up and out of the ground, 2 of them. 1.5 to 2 of those are going to be move-in ready in the fall. The 3rd one will be ready the next year. Our goal is to have enough dorm rooms so that students who are 2nd, 3rd, 4th year students, if they want to stay on campus, they can.
At the address, Chancellor Plowman also mentioned the growth of the flagship scholarship.
When applying to college, money is often one of the determining factors when deciding what schools to attend. The university just made the decision easier for students at 14 more high schools in the state of Tennessee.
We're eliminating one financial barrier for them. They're completing their degrees and they're heading back into their communities or other communities to impact state needs and nationally.
Any student that attends a flagship high school automatically receives the scholarship once accepted and enrolled at UTK. Make sure to tune in next week to hear from one of the 700 current flagship scholarship students.
It's election time in Tennessee, and the last day to register to vote is coming up. We have Sydney Brackett here to tell us about a group on campus whose main goal is to get students to register and vote.
Sydney, who is this group?
The group is called Vols Vote, and they are encouraging you to vote. I spoke with 2 members of Vols Vote on how the initiative is encouraging you to vote and what resources they have for you.
There are only 32 days left until Election Day, and students are feeling stressed about their vote. One group on campus can help with that. Vols Vote. Member Elijah Winningham explains what they are.
So Vols Vote is an initiative to get students civically engaged on campus.
College students are consistently ranked near the bottom of voter registration and turnout. Vols Vote member Sophie Milan believes there is an answer as to why.
And don't, again, have like the foresight or the preparation than to make a voting plan.
Vols Vote aims to fix this issue by providing the resources and information to help students feel comfortable registering and casting their vote. Many college students will refrain from voting because of their views.
A lot of young people have a lot of, new views.
While their voices are not being heard directly in government yet,
Being engaged in voting means that your voice is heard.
there are only 3 more days left to register to vote, and you can register directly through the Vols Vote website at volsvote.utk.edu. I'm Sydney Brackett, Vol News.
If you are interested in joining Vols Vote, you can email volsvote.utk.edu. Sometimes students don't have a voting plan in place, so there might be confusion if you go to school out of state or even out of the country. But there is an answer to this: absentee ballots. Absentee ballots are a way of voting that allows a registered voter to mail or submit their vote remotely rather than attending a polling place in person. On Tuesday, the Vols Vote Initiative held their own absentee ballot day.
What we're doing is helping students register in person so that they can order their absentee ballot.
You can request an absentee ballot no later than 7 days before Election Day. You can do so at sos.tn.gov. To create your own voting plan, you can visit volsvote.com or check out Canvass's page where there's a banner right at the top.
Sydney, if students have questions on election matters, where can they go?
Great question. If you have any questions, email volsvote.utk.edu. And if you have any questions on the election, please reach out to us at tvcvolnews@utk.edu.
Thanks, Sydney.
When we get back, your Lady Vols have been busy from soccer to volleyball to the pros. We'll bring you up to speed.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again, then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
The University of Tennessee is on the rise, lighting the way in everything we do, from theater to supply chain management to advanced materials, creating leaders in the field, on the field, and in every field. The best way to rise is to lift others up and reach for the summit together. It takes each one of us giving our all. It takes a volunteer.
It wouldn't be a week at UT without an explosive week in sports.
Cooper and Lowe join us now to bring you up to date on all things sports.
Thanks, guys. Hello and welcome to Rocky Top Sports Report. My name is Cooper Smith.
And I'm Lauren Edwards, bringing you up to date on all things sports. Here on Rocky Top, let's get it started. Lady Vols are making appearances all over the place, but one recently made a splash in the WNBA. Lady Vol for life, Rakia Jackson, who was the lone bright spot on the tough season for the Los Angeles Sparks, was announced to the WNBA All-Rookie team alongside big name Caitlin Clark. Jackson averaged 13 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists on the season in just over 28 minutes per game.
Well, last week was a bye week for your Tennessee Volunteers. The week before, they welcomed Oklahoma to the SEC in a game that had some history. Oklahoma's Coach Heupel's alma mater and the team he led to a national championship as a quarterback. The Vols took the game 25-15, not letting Oklahoma see the end zone until the fourth quarter.
Tomorrow, we face the Razorbacks in Arkansas. The Razorbacks are coming off a loss to Texas A&M in the Southwest Classic. Arkansas quarterback Taylon Green had a pick and 2 fumbles against the Aggies, while Tennessee is heavily favored against their second SEC match up. I'm sure Heupel's going to take it one game at a time. It's not quite baseball season yet, but UT is still feeling the national championship win, but not how you'd expect it.
If you remember the Jello Shot challenge from Twitter, this might sound familiar. Our Kyla Berry found out where all that money went.
Here, it was a huge help to figure out, okay, now we've got resources to do more good for students.
Pantry does more than just provide food. Professional clothing can be found, and now, thanks to a Nebraskan bar that donated over $30,000, hygiene products can be found on the shelves.
Supports our ability to expand a lot of those resources.
Blake Wise, the director of the Center for Basic Needs, says hygiene products can be the last item on a grocery list.
We knew it was a need, and we also knew that it was what students would sometimes, choose last.
Now, shoppers like Jalen Smith can get their hygiene products in the student union.
And products here that's accessible for everybody is just important, especially for people that don't have the opportunities or the accessibility to get anywhere else.
All aimed at supporting students having accessibility to basic needs.
They can expect the same products available. Really helps to support food insecurity, basic needs security.
Providing shoppers like Smith with their everyday essentials.
Lotion, I've gotten a toothbrush from here.
And more, all thanks to a business that supports food pantries.
Just about half of our overall food costs for a year, which is huge. And so we've also been able to expand over the past couple months.
Rocco's Bar and Grill.
Businesses in Omaha, Nebraska, right, that support the work that we do.
In Knoxville, Kyla Berry, Vol News.
Thanks, Kyla. Now here's my best Matt Solitsky impression, but with my own hot take. Major League Baseball has the best postseason in all of sports.
Says the diehard baseball fan.
Red October begins tomorrow, but baseball is not always about the present. The future of a few of these ball clubs lies in the hands of some VFLs. A few months ago, in the 2024 MLB Draft, the Royals selected Drew Beam and A.J. Causey. Blake Burke was taken by the Brew Crew. The Padres drafted Kavaris Tears. Billy Amick, the third baseman, went to the Twins. Dylan Dreiling ended up with the Rangers. The White Sox drafted Aaron Combs. In undrafted free agency, the Twins ended up with Xander Sechrist, and Cal Stark signed with the Rangers. Finally, superstar Christian Moore is now with the Los Angeles Angels, the only Vol selected in the first round. Pro baseball in great hands with some former Vols. Now enough of the pros. We bleed orange here. How about our Lady Vols soccer team fighting hard in SEC play?
That's right. Our Lady Vols are doing well against SEC matchups, beating Ole Miss 2-1 and tying Alabama and Vanderbilt. The Lady Vols aren't in the top 5, but that could change depending on how these next few games play out. Unfortunately, the game against Florida has been postponed, but you can catch our girls take on Missouri at the Regal Soccer Stadium tonight at 7 p.m. Tonight should be a pretty interesting game. Soccer isn't the only thing that our Lady Vols have been up to lately. Let's get into volleyball.
Lady Vols volleyball dropped their first road SEC game of the year 3-1 to the Sooners, and as a result, dropped out of the top 25 for the first time this year. Volleyball's record sits at 8-4 overall and now 1-1 in conference play. They continue their road trip tonight in Oxford against the Rebels. Start time set for 7:30 Eastern. We will see the Lady Vols at home next versus the Wildcats of Kentucky Wednesday, October 16th. Make sure you come out and support while earning your T credits.
Yes, everyone needs to watch women's sports. And next week, we'll be breaking down those new crowds from T credit. T credits are affecting the athletes.
Thanks for tuning in to the Rocky Top Sports Report today.
We'll be back next week with all the sports news. Back to you guys.
Thanks, guys.
When we come back, we'll take a look at how the university helps international athletes find their home on Rocky
successful
Top.
for everybody is just important, especially
And
for
how
people
an
that
app
don't
is
have
making
the
it easier for
opportunities
students to
or the
navigate everything that
accessibility to
UT
get
has to
anywhere else.
offer.
If I could be you, you could be me. Just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again, then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
The University of Tennessee is on the rise, lighting the way in everything we do, from theater to supply chain management to advanced materials, creating leaders in the field, on the field, and in every field. The best way to rise is to lift others up and reach for the summit together. It takes each one of us giving our all. It takes a volunteer.
Welcome back, Falls. I'm your weather specialist, Emma Collard, here to give you your weekend weather forecast. Things should thankfully stay mostly dry for any cleanup crews we have outside this weekend. We'll stay mostly cloudy for the rest of the day today, with temperatures topping out in the low 80s. We could see a passing shower or two, but anything that moves in will move back out pretty quickly. We'll see the sun peak out a little bit more on Saturday, with temperatures starting out in the low 60s and rising to the low 80s once again. Great weather for any football watch parties that you've got planned. Sunday will be a beautiful day as well, with partly cloudy skies and temperatures peaking in the mid-80s. If you're traveling to Fayetteville to cheer on the Vols this weekend, temperatures at kickoff will be in the mid-70s and drop to the mid-60s as the night goes on. Skies will be nice and clear, but you might want to bring a light jacket if you get cold easily. That's all I have for your weekend weather update. Now back to Clarissa and Kylie at the desk.
Food insecurity is something that many college students struggle with.
Our Alexis Brunson went and investigated just one way people in our community are tackling this issue.
If you were to walk around the fort on Wednesday afternoons, you might spot a free food sign right across from Laurel Hall.
I actually walk past here pretty much every day leaving for class, and they always are sitting out here telling me to stop by, so I finally came in.
Something that students like UT sophomore Owen Gilroy enjoys.
I mean, I would just say thank you to all of them. It's just really kind of them to do this and support the people around here.
Yet, this mobile food pantry is more than it seems, as Ryan McCrillis, chaplain for the ROTC Air Force program, revealed.
I think it was 2018, might have been 2019. I had several students in a row come to me who had fallen on hard times, and they were coming to me as a pastor saying, we can't afford to feed ourselves.
McCrillis spotted a problem and offered a solution.
And I started loading up my car with groceries and driving to kids' private residence and filling their freezers because they were, of course, not living in the dorms.
And that has only grown to become the CHOP Mobile Food Pantry, which provides free food to both UT students and faculty right here from 1 to 3 p.m. every Wednesday.
And then Ross and I, my brother-in-law at Knoxville Dream Center, started just talking, and he said, well, why don't we put a food truck right on campus? And so that's what we did.
For Macrillis, the mobile food pantry is about more than free food.
We're not here for the pay. We do it because we love our students.
And while the mobile food pantry doesn't see as many students as it did in the past, they don't plan to stop anytime soon. In Knoxville, Alexis Brunson, UT Today.
This mobile pantry provides free groceries to UT students and faculty every Wednesday from 1 to 3 p.m. right here in our own backyard.
You can find their locations and times at knoxvilledreamcenter.org.
Each team at the university has at least one international student athlete representing their squad.
But what are they doing to help these student athletes, Alexa?
Guys, student athletes from all over the world come to Rocky Top to play their sport and become a Vol for life. But the Tennessee Athletic Department recognizes the challenges that come along with a big move. I met with Tennessee's Assistant Athletic Director, who says bringing together the international student athletes is important for showing support and building community.
Tennessee Athletics is creating a home away from home for a special group of student athletes. An International Student Athlete Night does just that.
I think that events like this really support us international student athletes to great lengths. What's up, bro?
Tennessee swimmer Michael Hooley enjoys coming together with his fellow international student athletes for team building games, introduction to new cultures, and even managing taxes in the new name, image, and likeness era.
I think for us to come together and know that we're not alone. We at least have people that are in similar positions to us that have obviously come to great lengths to be in this great country. I think it goes a long way.
Assistant Student Athlete Director Caitlin Ryan has been helping put on the event at the Thornton Center on campus for 4 years.
It's important to us that they feel supported and they know who they can go to when they have questions, when they have issues, just to kind of help alleviate some of that stress.
Tennessee is home to 80 international student athletes, representing 30 countries, from Austria to Australia, Canada to the Cayman Islands.
I think our international student athlete population makes our athletic department stronger because you have different perspectives, different lived experiences, people from all over the world converging together to work together.
With events like this, athletes have the chance to come together and build community to start the new year, with some healthy competition like international trivia games.
I think that being a part of this community is very special. I know that everyone is obviously so unique. We obviously come from different backgrounds, different cultures. We obviously speak different languages as well.
Tennessee Athletics, making Rocky Top feel like home sweet home for each and every student athlete. Griffin Hadley and Alexa Durbin, Vol News.
You can catch all of UT's international student athletes in the coming months. All of the home game schedules for Tennessee Athletics can be found at utsports.com, or you can tune into your Rocky Top Sport Report for everything you missed next Friday.
Thanks, Alexa.
The university has so many resources, but navigating them can be hard. Student Success is making it easier for students to access these resources.
You may notice a new platform available to students. It's called Vol Connect,